And blast off! Welcome to episode 3 of Let's Play Kerbal Space Program. And as you can see, we just launched our third flight, our third mission, in which we are going to both Moon and Minmus. Or actually, we're just going to do a low altitude flyby past both of them. But we're still going there, and we're gonna get some science and do some EVAs and such around them. And then we're gonna hopefully return that science along with our two green men back here to Kerbin, so that we can research more technologies and unlock more new parts to build better rockets and hopefully land on either one of Kerbin's moons in upcoming episodes. So there, we just ditched our completely overpowered solid rocket boosters. And we're already past 20 kilometers here, heading up pretty nicely. The rocket's working quite well. I've never tested this design before. I put it together in 10 minutes and then just decided to launch it and see what happens and record at the same time, and it's working out pretty well. As you can see, our apoapsis is rising nicely. We're gaining speed and altitude, and we're up to 40 kilometers. Both our pilots there look pretty happy. Thumbs up or nudging the helmet or whatever they're doing there. And 45 kilometers. Fuel situation is looking good. Everyone's alive. No catastrophic failures yet, which is pretty strange considering I'm playing this game. Usually, I have problems with catastrophic failures, things breaking apart, or exploding, or overheating, or not having enough fuel, or having too much fuel and destroying the landing with too much weight and such. Small, minor problems like those. But this series, this is the third mission, and third spacecraft, or third and fourth spacecraft, I guess, which are working quite well. Maybe the first mission, since I tried to do something silly with the solid rocket boosters, was sort of a failure, but since we got science from it and unlocked new parts and our pilot survived, and we learned how not to use solid rocket boosters, you could even call it a success. So, our second mission, we reached orbit, reached awesomeness with that crazy craft, and landed safely too, so that was a success. And now our launch so far has been a success, and I hope that the rest of the mission will be a success too. There, we ran out of fuel a while ago with the rear end of the rockets, and now we're using the final... Oh, screenshot time! Screenshot time! I love my screenshots. Yeah, we're using the final central booster part to boost these two radially connected spacecraft into low orbit. Actually, we're going to take them so that the apoapsis is around, well, high enough, and the periapsis is just below the edge of the atmosphere, so that it will hit the atmosphere later and crash down back into Kerbin, so that we don't leave any waste in orbit, which is always good. I've crashed into stuff in orbit. It's not cool. Yeah. Seems like everything's going pretty well here. Our periapsis is hopefully going to rise above ground level, and things are gonna go, hopefully, just as planned. Our fuel situation looks pretty good. I might not have to use the fuel in those small spacecrafts after all. And there it is, our periapsis above ground level. Time to burn a little more, get that periapsis a bit higher, That's starting to look pretty good. Above 40 kilometers is okay. Around 50 is okay. And next we are going to... just a bit more. Yeah. Now we're going to detach one of these spacecrafts and push it into final orbiting altitude. Wow, that looks so cool. Yeah, that looks so cool. I have to do more weird ships like this for you guys, because I'm pretty good at making weird ships. Okay, slight burn. Keep our periap. No apoaps. Not get it too high. Get our periaps high enough. Yeah, that's okay enough. Now to switch to the other craft. Switch, please. There we go. And here, separate the other part. Boop. And those solid rocket boosters I placed there, separatrons, whatever they're called, worked in a strange way. Apparently, the separation from the small craft knocked or turned the booster a bit and had those separatrons boosted sideways a little bit instead of retrograde to decrease its orbit a bit more. I don't know if it would have worked at all. But yeah, finally we got this guy into orbit as well, and it is time to name these crafts. First one is going to be called Moon. I can reach awesomeness to Moon. And the other one is going to appropriately be named Minmus. Ain't I creative? Moon and Minmus for Moon and, well, Minmus. Now, let's fix that periaps. There we go. There. That's pretty good. Moon is there. And it's time to accelerate a bit. Put our maneuver node there. As you can see, I put 5 times speed on the video because I'm really bad at maneuver nodes, and I take a really long time at getting good encounters, so I don't want you guys to have to sit through all of that in real time. No way. Even I don't like sitting through them while doing them. So I'm trying to get a free return trajectory so that we don't have to do any orbital insertions or any extra burns, hopefully. So the idea is to burn and fly past the moon using its gravity to bring the periaps on Kerbin low enough that will hit the atmosphere, and with the atmospheric drag, hopefully slow down enough that we don't have to do any extra burns. Because I'm not sure if our fuel is gonna, well, I don't know if we have enough fuel for this mission. Well, I'm guessing right now, after seeing the fuel right now, after doing that burn, we have plenty of fuel for this mission. We could probably even go to both locations with both ships. So now, Minmus' turn, getting that encounter there. Minmus is a lot more difficult because it is a lot smaller, having a lot smaller sphere of influence and gravity, so you really want to be careful with your orbital insertions and your maneuver nodes, I guess. At least I'm trying to be really careful with them. And your burns, of course, because if you're not, you will end up way off and with weird, wonky trajectories and such, which I have ended up in way too many times. I'm hoping this one will go well. Well, actually, I know how it will end up, but you guys don't know yet, haha. There we are. Okay, that's weird. That's weird. Okay, go sideways then. Go sideways. Looking pretty good, maybe, hopefully. Small adjustments here and there, and okay. Okay. Small adjustments, I said, not too big adjustments, and let's burn a bit and get that encounter. Okay. Okay. that was interesting. That was interesting. But that looks a lot better right now. A lot better. I'm gonna leave it at like that. And now back to our mooncraft. We're really close. As you can see, our trajectory is going around Moon pretty nicely. One orbit around it, I think. Oh no. Oh yeah, this is, yeah. So we'll go around the moon, gather the science we need, and wow. I love the graphics on this game, or I love the these things you see, having Kerbin there, having the moon pass in front of the sun slowly. So yeah, screenshot time once again. I don't remember. I maybe had like 3 or 4 screenshot times on this episode, which is fairly few. I usually take maybe a dozen, 20, 30 screenshots per game or game session. And no, we don't want science yet. I want the science from low moon orbit, because I'm guessing that the science down there is higher than the science in high moon orbit. I could be wrong, of course, but it's just a hunch. And since I really can't transmit anything with limited electricity, I'm just gonna go for the low moon orbit science. Do a little spacewalk there, get EVA reports and such. And yeah, looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. 100 kilometers. I'm not sure if that's close enough yet. I don't know what's low moon orbit. Okay, I guess that's low moon orbit since we twitched like that. The orbital camera twitched like that, so it's time to slow down a bit and do that science. Yeah, no. Still high moon orbit. I don't know what is low, so I hope we pass by low enough to get that low moon orbit data. 75 kilometers. And look at our little green guy down there. He is absolutely enjoying this. He is really happy to be here behind moon. I'm guessing we're on the dark side, or the unseeable side from Kerbin of the moon. Yeah, getting lower, let's see now. And yep, that is it. Low moon orbit science. Great. And let's take our crew report, and next, time to do small EVA. Here we go. Barham is in space once again, taking that EVA report and entering his rocket once again. See what happens next. Yeah, our trajectory is pretty good. I might have to do some small adjustments, small minor burns, which is usual, because if you actually make one of these trajectories and nail the burn right on, and are able to get back to Kerbin without making any additional burns, I raise my hat for you guys. I'm not that skilled. I'm not that skilled. So, yeah, we've got plenty of fuel left, as we can see up there on the right-hand upper corner. Plenty of spare fuel I'm gonna probably use while landing on Kerbin once again. This will slow us down because I don't trust those parachutes with all this excess weight. One parachute on the tip, and I've had parachutes just break off or rip a rocket in parts way too many times. Especially if it's a larger craft I've spent like hours building and designing and testing, and then because I'm too lazy to actually test the crafts in atmospheres, I just test if I can see them, if I can get them into orbit, and that's my testing phase. Then I fly them and see what happens, and if I land on Duna or Eve or wherever where there's an atmosphere where you need parachutes, or can use parachutes, and have the parachutes rip my beautiful, carefully designed crafts into smithereens, it is frustrating. It is really frustrating. So let's get our last glimpse at the moon here before we head back to Kerbin. And I really like the new moon. I remember the old moon being a lot more simpler, with less craters and such, and less surface features. But I really like the new one. It looks really beat up, and it has a lot of nice little details to it, even when you go down there. And I like Minmus 2 a lot. I'll be talking about Minmus later, saving it for the Minmus flight. So, now, time to see what we can do with this orbit thingy. Yeah. Well, the moon is going bye-bye for now. Hopefully we'll see the moon later. And hopefully we'll land it on the moon in a few episodes in the future. I'm gonna try to get more episodes out more quickly. I've had a lot of stuff. I've had a lot of work, a lot of studying to do in the past weeks. I'm trying to well get my courses completed, and I'm trying to get money from work, trying to do as much work as possible so I can go on a trip exploring the world in the summer. So yeah, I've been really busy, and I apologize for not being able to get as many episodes out as I would have liked to get. I was aiming for at least one episode a week, but I promise you I'll have another episode out in a few days after this episode, because I I recorded over 1.5 hours of footage, and I'm aiming for around 20-minute episodes, so I had to cut it in half and separate the moon and Minmus parts of the episode or footage into 2 separate episodes. So now here we are back close to Kerbin, hopefully entering the atmosphere in one piece. Looking pretty good. I have no idea where we're going to land, if we're close to the space center or not. I didn't remember to check that. I just, well, yeah. But if we land somewhere else, we'll get the data and surface samples of another biome. Oh wow, we're actually going to... No. I'm gonna try to land on that desert, because I've not been there, haven't been there before. And yeah, now using the excess fuel, hopefully getting us a bit lighter so that parachute will not rip our ship into, well, 2, 3 many pieces. Oh wow, it's pretty weird trying to control this. With Ferrum Aerospace research installed, the aerodynamics really throw your ship around if you're, well, not aerodynamic, or if you don't have any control surfaces, or if you're burning in this direction. Also, your center of mass is a big thing with it affects your orientation in the atmosphere a lot. If your center of mass is behind, let's say my pod weighs more than the rear end of my craft, it will very easily spin out of control, as it is very unstable, which is, well, not cool. Or it can be cool. It gives us very interesting and usually entertaining situations to get out of. And I hope we're not going to overshoot the edge of the desert there. I really want to hit that desert biome. I guess I could deploy my parachute soon, but I'm gonna try to save it until we get much lower down. There, our pilot is looking a little bit nervous down there. He doesn't know what's going to happen, and yeah. Time to deploy the chutes and use the rest of the fuel to slow down. Easy does it. I don't have a lot of fuel left. And we're already below 10 kilometers. And screenshot time! Yeah! Hopefully successful mission screenshot. There we are. Yeah, we're gonna hit the desert, and I'm gonna get my surface samples in science from there. 4,000 meters and going down still fairly quickly, but slowing down nicely. Hopefully enough so that we don't break in half. Let's use that final bit of our fuel here. Less than 2 kilometers. Let's lose or use a little bit more of our fuel here. I'm hoping to land this thing in one piece. Maybe have it... Oh, yeah. Okay. We're gonna land it in one piece. Yeah. Parachute did that for us. So, another, hopefully, successful mission. I'm already used to having weird stuff happen at this part of the mission. Because, well, it is Kerbal Space Program. Anything can happen at any part of the mission. I'm pretty sure all of you know that. So, 500 meters. 500 meters. Well, that's 500 meters above the sea level, of course. We're much lower than that. I'm loving that weird shadow glitch on the parachute. Last bit of fuel to slow us down. Maybe even land us upright and boop. Nope. No chance. No chance. And okay. That's a success. That is a successful landing. Time to EVA, get our surface samples, EVA reports, and plant a flag. So, this first, then surface sample. Yep, let's keep the data. And then it is time to plant our flag. Let's plant it right here. There we go, and let's name our site ICRA-2, or yes, ICRA-2 Moon landing site. I am very slow at typing and thinking. And what should I write here? Let's just put something here and get it over with so we can get to our Minmus mission. There. Beautiful. Let's get this guy back to his spacecraft so we can return them to the space center. We went upside down. Okay. And wow, that's a lot of science. And well, I'll see you guys in the next episode.